How's it going, folks? Jack here, and here's the sitch. Depending on when this video gets released, when I've edited it and stuff, it might be coming out on a Sunday, which might be a good thing. It might be coming out on a Monday, which might kind of suck, but regardless of which, you are not going to be sleeping tonight, because I decided to dive into an interesting internet creepypasta. I have decided for the longest time to not deal with these things. Only just last year, and partially also this year, did I dive into a little bit of the SCP stuff as well as some other series, like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Now, to compensate for my lack of actual upload of reaction to the stuff that I was supposed to do, because I ended up watching a lot of them on my lonesome, I will be checking this one out, which is called the Boiled One Phenomenon. I don't know what this is about, but apparently it's a big hit enough that I have been recommended to watch this. And yeah, we're gonna see what this is all about. Well, okay, apparently this is one of those where I'm going to be pausing a lot, since just barely 3 seconds in, we already have whatever the hell this is, and a quick frame saying all following media has been curated with permission from personnel at Euphrata 228. Great care has been taken to keep the identity of the persons involved anonymous as they requested. Okay, that's some SCP stuff. Including the properties may be mentally and physically affect the viewer. Please refer to the following procedures in order to guarantee your safest possible viewing experience. Okay, that's very SCP-like. Earplugs, a pencil, sheet of paper, a standard Christian Bible. Open to Psalms 91:10. I don't have a Christian Bible, but I can recall a part of Psalms. I think Psalms 91 and onward, or at least before chapter 100, has a lot to do with like the protection from the Lord, right? These are the verses that talk about how the Lord is going to send his angel to protect you, and you will slay the lion and the serpent, you will trample on them. There will be no... what is it? There will be no curse there will be no plague in your dwelling, nor any evil should befall you. Stuff like that. I'm pretty certain that this is what is referring to it. Well, it's protection, so quaint. Well, I don't have a pencil, but I have a pen. It's the next best thing. If something unusual begins speaking in tongues, tangible to the naked ear, insert your earplugs and turn the pencil and paper. Oh shit. Another skip frame. We need to head back a little bit. Oh, that's barely... That's 4 frames. I can't see this paper. I have no hands. I can hear the laughter of thousands. I can hear the feast. I cannot move, nor do I want to. I can see this paper. I can see my hand. I can't hear the screaming of thousands. I can't hear the feast. I'm a moving, breathing human being on planet Earth. Yeah, you wouldn't say that except if you are sus. I'm going to regret watching this, am I not? Yeah, no evil shall befall you, and no plague shall come near your dwelling. Yes. Hey, still remembering some from the Bible days. You will be administered amnestic. Many appears to lead to a normal life afterwards. What is this SCP-3000? Boiled One Phenomenon. August 13, 2003. Tree of Heaven. In the late 90s, a now classified documentary television program would debut from the local station in Pennsylvania. The program revolved around woodland plants and animals and was primarily directed towards children. Why are they always directed towards children? And this is Pennsylvania. The star of the show and narrator will talk about the wonders of nature, the dangers of it, how to appreciate it, and most importantly, how to protect yourself from it. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, in early 2001, the program was taken off the air due to his passing away. Then something odd happened. On August 13th, 2003, the 13th episode of the series began a rerun seemingly out of nowhere. Okay. Following audio recorded depict the beginning of the segment.
Good morning, bushwhackers. Today we're venturing into the heart of the forest to find a plant that's as beautiful as it is deceptive. Poison oak. We all know about it.
Like poison
Here in
ivy.
Pennsylvania, it's not as common, but still
One that
something to
itches.
look out for. And here on we aim to uncover all the wonderful secrets that nature has to offer, no matter how minuscule or gigantic. So let's get going, shall we? Found primarily in deep North American woodlands, poison oak has many different names and places of origin, also referred to as the tree of heaven. Imagine that? In China and Taiwan, one of these invasive species made its way to America in the 1700s.
Okay.
It took its ground here boldly. As many of us know, it's infamous.
During one of the interlude segments, an anomalous broadcast would hijack the program. This broadcast depicted videos of a red melted face that spoke to the viewers in warm yet deeply concerning voice. Okay. This face and its properties will be hereby referred to as Sven 228, supposedly the phenomenon 228. Clip of the footage and live camera feed monitor, hospital and bedroom would... I'm sorry, that was a bit too fast. Clips of footage and even live camera feed monitoring hospitals and bedroom would be occasionally overlaid on the screen, obscuring Sven 228's face. Okay. Even non-English speaking people can understand. Is that kanji? Okay. I might not have to do this just now, but I'm just gonna try, just because this is... I guess this is one of those interactive kind of videos, but we have to do this in real time. Let me see, do I have the Translate app here installed? Yes, I do. We're gonna change this into Japanese real quick. It does not detect it. That's not a language. Oh, no. Perhaps it's one of those where you have to flip it. Let me see. Okay, so I flipped it. Perhaps now I can use the Translate app for this. Afraid of birds. That is what it says, at least. So, I don't know. What the fuck? The following clip is a restored recording of the anomalous broadcast. During the clip has been shortened and the audio has been muffled, reversed and dampened. These alterations are absolutely necessary to suppress its hardest as... Oh my god, the English language. These alterations are absolutely necessary to suppress its hazardous attributes as effectively as possible. For maximum safety, watch with blue light glasses and insert your earplugs. Fuck. Oh my god. I'm sorry, brother, but your face might be melted, but whomever your barber was did you a very bad job. Broadcast 813 was viewed by roughly 530 residents throughout the southern Pennsylvania area, and upon viewing left many severely distraught. Discomfort and paranoia. The presence brought the viewers, and there are the side effects of this viewer experience that were highly. Many viewers reported not being able to keep the image of Fen 228's face out of the mind. Some even continued to hear its voice days after viewing. Sucks. A victim who requested to remain anonymous claimed that the face was living in his brain and feeling. Oh, feeding on his spine, what the fuck? It was only the beginning. August 14th, 2003, the Great Northeast Blackout. Oh, this was detected by a television station. The NERC was ordered by the Ephrata Power Branch to have all power grid locale of the state of Pennsylvania disabled by 4 p.m. to prevent further escalation of anomalies and the public knowledge of Broadcast 813. Now, I have heard about this thing before. Funny enough, we were talking about some hacking things some days ago, actually, when I was making a video on Helldivers. I used some footage from what's the name again, Watch Dogs 2, when you have an ability in that game to shut down the power grid. But this was like, I think, a coding issue that had happened in reality. Not to spoil this thing, of course, but yeah, the reality of what that event was. Outage ultimately spread various parts of New York, New Jersey, and so on. Northeast Blackout 2003. Almost 50 million people were without power, some not getting it back until days later. Yes. 813 were collected by Ephrata Branch and seemingly wiped out, including news article in the works from the morning after the broadcast, internet posts, recordings, and more. Promptly covered up and claimed to have been a combination of human error and resulted of, it was human error, a result of tree falling onto sagging power lines somewhat in Cleveland, Ohio. Always Ohio, but Pennsylvania itself being the literal state where the people who moved to Pennsylvania were some of the original settlers, yes? With Pennsylvania coming from Penn Wood. What was the name? The man who was part of that colony was called Penn something. Not Penn Wood, but Penn. Richard Penn? Benjamin Penn? I can't exactly remember, but these people were considered to a certain degree as being like religious zealots, or like a religious sect that was separating themselves from the Anglican Church, the English Church, and eventually, of course, led to their own kind of orthodox, what they deemed to be orthodoxy. However, it became somewhat of a fringe group in the way that they viewed people who would not side with the view of Christianity. Eventually, of course, in some places, like for example, Salem, led to the extreme of their endeavors being observed, like the Salem witch trials. Yeah, Pennsylvania also has its shit. But the damage had been done. Aftermath. 12 days after the broadcast 813 was blocked from the air, a historical massive influx of pseudocoma occurred throughout the state of Pennsylvania, leaving 509 people affected and many families in shock. Pseudocoma? In coma, but not really? Extremely rare condition in which the patient experiences a cerebromodular spinal disconnection. So he was feeding on the spine, so they cannot move. Like a cataleptic state. You know, catalepsy, where you your muscle might either tighten or fully relax, where you cannot control them. You collapse, leaving them to be conscious but unable to move or communicate verbally, due to complete paralysis of all voluntary muscles in the body except for the vertical eye movement and blinking. Oh, shit. The outbreak of such a rare condition was regarded as a spectacle by many US Department of Health and was put under the governmental investigation immediately. One thing in common with all of these cases is the patient had been home watching TV the night of the broadcast 813 was aired. Hey. Whoa! So they were doing Morse code by blinking then. Many of these interviews held unavailing result that often led to more questions, and many others held a result that required archival and termination. Why? However, fairly late into the investigation, the Ephrata branch was notified of a particular odd case revolving around a Job Zamperini. Wow, not threading lightly here with the religious subtext at all, is it? I mean, Job, the guy who suffered from the extremely weird gamble that God and the devil had with each other, with God being like, you know what, I can do whatever I want to Job, he's not gonna leave me. Dude is solid. Devil was like, okay, good, go ahead, show me what you can do. God takes away all of his things, kill all of his herd, murders everything, and the devil is like, God damn. Are you sure that he's gonna recover? Yeah, he's fine, but dude, you kill his 10 children, he can always make new ones. That was literally God's argument. He was being just like Omni-Man. What's 500 more years? I can always make another one. It's kind of wild, but that's not the point here. Clearly, there's some religious subtext here about the pain that they're going to endure if, in fact, Job is the person that I'm thinking about. Elderly victim was anonymous. Job Zamperini specifically requested his alias. Job Zamperini specifically requested his alias to be used in the future recording instead of his real name, which will remain classified. Okay. Zamperini. That also sounds familiar. That's like some World War II character, isn't it? Zamperini. Might look it up later. War vet and fluent in Morse code, putting him on the mark as potential interview. As oh no, he's the runner, the dude. That's true. He's oh my God, wasn't he a marathon runner that was turned into a soldier who was captured by the Japanese? That explains the translation. After a very odd photo was taken in his backyard by his visiting grandson, his family became deeply troubled and convinced his house was haunted. This led to the contract-level priest, in hope of the house would be blessed. Following photo depicts Fan 228 standing next to the... The photo itself was proven to be non-hazardous and safe to view, though still anomalous in nature. For most comfortable viewing experience were blue light glasses or view from a distance of 3 feet or more. Bruv. He's combining a lot of SCP elements here. Okay. What the fuck? I thought the thing was small. Claimed that something horrible and unholy was within him and would hurt him and possibly others in his if he described it and what he was telling him. Recorded previously archived recording of the Officer T. Gomez of the Ephrata branch interview of Job Zamperini.
Hello, Mr. I'm Officer Gomez. Hope you're doing well today. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions regarding your condition and possibly unholiness within your home that your family had mentioned?
Morse code.
Okay, first and foremost, did you notice any onset symptoms before you lost complete mobility of your body? Face.
There was a face.
When did you begin seeing this face? Interesting. Many of the people who have seen the broadcast that you saw on August the 13th described having vivid and upsetting hallucinations. Do you think this is something your brain has created?
No, it is in the window. Burned out of Lord Christ.
Still don't see it. Have you been having any hallucination aside from the face?
Okay, I'm chilling a little bit right now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Screaming of many voices.
Are these screams constant?
Night before I sleep. Oh!
Thank
But the Lord Christ is with me. Hello? Hold on a minute. What do we have here? Ah, shit, I need a Morse code translator for this one. Okay, sorry. If I switch on... Subtitles are on. So he doesn't have one.
Thank you. You shedding light on this is helping more than you know.
Uh-oh. There was a frame.
More than you know.
What the hell is this? Pillars of red. Are those clouds? I mean, it's both hilarious but also kind of terrifying. Wonderful day. The miracle of birth, a fatal fanfare, and more Japanese text. Okay, so the previous one, I still have it here, said, afraid of birds. So if we translate this one once more, what do we get? Fear the one and only Watanabe bird. Watanabe bird? Ken Watanabe? Watanabe, fear of bird, afraid of birds. I'm gonna do some... We watch this through, we do some Googling in a bit.
Listen closely.
Fuck, it speaks.
You hear it? You will hear the laughter of thousands as the sky opens up. You will hear the trumpets play their happy sounds. The scalding blood of life will pour down onto us all, together, We will be still. Together, a feast fit for a king. Together, welded by love and purest connection. Be still. Let me
You see this screen, it means that you're not safe to continue viewing. The program will end shortly. I don't like this. Gonna be totally honest. Okay, so we have a lot to unpack here. A town in Pennsylvania is the subject of some supernatural event that has some tie-ins to an invasive species of plant called Tree of Heaven. This plant similarly can also be found in the East and is related to, I guess, a Watanabe bird. That aside, there is a supernatural entity that has been using the program on which this plant was mostly exposed to the world as a medium to spread itself by causing a sort of level of catalepsy onto people, but like a severance of the spinal cord that it fits upon, and is spewing a bunch of religious things. The whole thing with the horns at the end that he mentioned, the sky opening, these are literally events from the book of Revelation at the end of it. The Apocalypse of John, as it's also called. And tells you to rejoice, to hear the chants of, or the songs, what is it? No, the sounds of laughter of the thousands. Wow, there's a lot there. But what is interesting to me, and that might tie some things together at least, is the fact that there is a level of, I guess, hope towards this, since the tie-in with the Job individual here, who seemingly also has some tie-ins with a World War II veteran who survived, I guess, imprisonment in Japan, POW camps. These were the people who literally were tortured and survived that. So Job made it out alive and even got extra benefits afterwards, although I think that God screwed him the fuck up. But that's just my opinion, according to the lore. But there is a bright side at the end of this. I just want to know a little bit about this Watanabe bird real quick. I need to look this up. Okay, so the first search result gave me a Mutsuhiro Watanabe, nicknamed the bird. So quite nice there. By his prisoners as a known war criminal in Imperial Japanese Army soldier in World War II who served in multiple military internment camps. So after Japan's defeat, the US occupation authority classified Watanabe as a war criminal for his mistreatment of prisoners of war. But he managed to elude arrest and was never tried. Wonderful. When the hell did he die? 2003. Jesus, he made it very far. So tied to him is this book called Unbroken, a World War II story of survival, resilience, and redemption. Inspired by the story Come on Seabiscuit. I'm not even going to comment on the name of that title, it sounds funny. As an adult, Hillenbrand wrote Seabiscuit, an American legend. While researching that novel, Hillenbrand came across a 1938 newspaper article about Louis Zamperini. Okay, the discovery led Hillenbrand to tell the story of Louis Zamperini's experience as a prisoner of war. Yes, and Unbroken 2010 became, the New York Times bestseller and formed the basis of a feature film. What do you know? Okay, let's get a little bit of the synopsis here. Louis grew up in a Christian home and was a troublemaker. Louis caught by law enforcement and returned to his family. Does his thing athleticism, there we go. Louis earned a place in the US Olympic team to compete in the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin. This is why I remember this one. Again, as a fan of history, and especially athletes through history, you have the likes of JC Owen who partook in that one. One of the most insane Olympic Games ever, because you have Jim Crow America on one side, and on the other side you have Nazi Germany. What are you going to do when you're competing in those conditions? Yeah, you're gonna become a freaking legend, and so many of the athletes that partook in that are memorable. So yeah, obviously a name ring a bell there. Louis' running career ends abruptly as World War II begins, and the United States Air Corps, where he becomes a bombardier. Okay, so he's assigned to a mission in the Pacific Theater. His plane crashes, presumably, and then he gets caught by the Japanese, who then, at the POW camp, a camp leader nicknamed the Bird introduced himself to the new arrivals. The Bird states that the POWs are enemies of Japan and shall be treated accordingly. Louis glances at the Bird, who then orders Louis to look at him, but beats Louis whenever he does so. God damn. So they had a quite literally feud. The entity is the Bird. It wants you to look at it, but you can't move away. It wants you to rejoice. It has like that sadistic thing about it. Oh my god. This is clever. It's actually okay. That's a clever creepypasta. Not to say that the build-up hasn't been, but like for the most part, I sometimes can take issue when things are solely relying on, like, for example, like established, let's say, Christian lore, because it can get a little bit boring. Just saying, because at least for me, these are things that I'm kind of familiar with, so like it doesn't really take me as a surprise. But twisting it, of course, with some real life events and all that, I vibe with that a lot. And this also makes sense, like a story of survival. He survived the POW camp, similarly to Job, if you want to put that perspective in there. But what happens with his life at the end? Let's quickly finish this. Later on, he returns to the United States, reunited with his family. He meets Cynthia Applewhite. They marry each other for 2 months. They have a daughter. However, traumatized by his wartime ordeal, without a career and unable to pursue his love of running, Louis becomes an alcoholic. Oh. And Cynthia divorces him. But then, when evangelist Billy Graham comes to town, Cynthia convinces Louis to attend a revival meeting. So he finds God again. Yeah, a fun notice actually, the Alcoholics Anonymous thing was founded by a Christian organization, so it does serve its purpose. It's nice that people actually would do that. So I suppose that is the parallel. The entity might be like, not necessarily the Bird himself, but like at least an inspiration to what its behavior is like. It might take a little bit of a sadistic pleasure in the torment of people and actually literally telling people to rejoice in its presence while paralyzing them, making them unable to live. It's literally a camp that they cannot live from. They're being maltreated, drained from the life force, and can only watch. But the literal only thing that you can do is just keep hope in you being saved. By which entity we do not know, because yeah, we haven't seen the good ending yet to this, but it's nice. It was a nice creepypasta. I regret nothing. Seriously, I thought that I was going to like have nightmares, but I guess that solving the mysteries always help with these type of things. But guys, thank you so much for checking this out. Of course, please do make sure to go and subscribe to Dr. Nowhere. Awesome dude for making this. It's only a month ago, and he also has another video called The Boy and the Bath. I have no idea what this one is either, but it looks creepy as hell. That being said, thank you so much for watching. Of course, if you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button, and I wish you all to have a wonderful day. See you guys in the next one. Bye.